That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time. Welcome to Hell's Honchos. That's right. This is Robert Frankenberg. I'm very excited to have everybody here for episode 3. That's right. It's our 3rd episode, and we got some wacky stuff for you tonight. I'm very excited. I have a co-host tonight. This is a reunion, 3,000 years in the making. This man has been everything from the devil to the freak. You name it. He's been there. He's done it. He's the schmoozer of Long Island theater. You cannot beat this man. That's right. Let's give it up for Mr. Brendan Noble. There he is. Yes. How you doing, Brendan?
I'm good. Surrounded by a bunch of creepy dolls, but other than that, can't complain.
That's right. Your surroundings definitely make a perfect contrast for our show. So that's wonderful. Very cool, man. So Brendan's joining us. Brendan heads up a lot of different productions, is very involved in the Long Island theater community. If you're in it, you know him. So that's what he does. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, my man?
Well, let's see. My main job is I do the marketing for CM Performing Arts Center. So I do their social media, and so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Anything you see digitally out there, it's usually me putting it out there. Nice. Now with the whole COVID-19 going on, that messed a lot of things up. So
I know. we all got hit a little hard with everything going down, you know?
Absolutely.
A little crazy. Now, the best part is I want to say, like, we always talk about you with the marketing and all that, but I want to talk about you're an actor and a phenomenal one at that. And I've been in a lot of shows with you. I've watched you on the stage, and you're always pretty epic. And one I got to bring up is we got to talk about this. So this was Stage Fright. This was a immersive horror bar that I created with the Paramount up at the Spotlight in Huntington on Main Street, and this is Mr. Brendan Noble starring as one of the characters of that. I mean, look at that face, man! Come on. That's Mr. Debonair and a half. This is the undead James Bond we always needed. But what is it like, for you? You've played so many roles. Do you like being the villain and the evil guy? Do you like being the good guy, the sidekick? What are your favorite kind of roles to play?
For me, I'm basically a character actor. That's my stronger suit. I like disappearing into roles. So that's why, things like Stage Fright were great. I was able to play 5-6 different roles in a night, even though they're seeing me multiple times, but I got a different mask on, or I'm doing makeup this time, or a prosthetic here. So I like disappearing into the different roles and keeping people guessing, like, wait, was that just the same guy we just saw? So things like that.
Absolutely, man. It's and that's always been fun because we've been in a range of shows, and first was Living Dead Mafia with Twitch Productions, and that's going way back. And then we were in Qualia, and even later with Salvatore Rizzo, going on with all that, and then oh my God, there's just so many different things that we've done all the way up until now. And then you were just at my haunted house actually last year for a few nights. We had you as a guest actor.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Which once again, the demonic mask, throwing it on and being the, and that is one thing that I have to say that's always great about working with you is that we get a lot of actors who they want to be the coolest character, but they don't want to work for it. And
right,
the mask that you wore is like a 15-pound hunk of silicone, and it's this crazy horned, demon, a devil, and Brendan was just killing it all night long without a break, without anything. I mean, this guy was just, it was nuts.
I think for me, it's like it's a mutual acquaintance of ours, Doug Jones.
Oh man, Dougie,
the greatest actor you will never know, because all of his roles, he's some completely new character that you've never seen before.
Absolutely, man. And that's, for me, that's what I love about what we do too, is there's acting, and then there's haunting, which is still acting, but in a different aspect, depending on what role you're in. But it's so much fun to be something from another world, because you never really get the chance to evolve that way as an actor and really think like that, So that's cool, man. Let's check out. I know we got a few people with us tonight. I know we got Lou's in here. Lou's been checking great music again from our intro credits. So that's wonderful. We got Frank kicking it up here. That's right. Hi, Frank. How you doing? We got an Evelyn Frankenberg. We even got a Jill Long Frankenberg. Look at that. And it's some cool stuff, guys. So we got a lot of stuff coming up for you. Let's talk a little bit about what we got on the show for tonight. So one thing I do want to say is our show is officially being broadcasted tonight. We are on the Hell's Honcho Facebook page. So if you're watching, if you're listening, please invite your friends, show them what we're all about, show them how insane we are, you know, let them know about all the craziness, because it's great to see. And also, we're officially on YouTube now, so we're broadcasting on both platforms, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hell's Honchos. Very simple. You'll see that we're up there live right now. And this way you guys can stay up to date every time that we have a show. We're looking to launch a show about every 2 or 3 days. So we're looking at maybe a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedules where we're looking at, guys. All right. Coming up. Me and Brendan are going to go take a little stroll down our memory lane here with Zombie.
Yes.
So this is a really cool thing, guys, that me and Brendan stumbled upon, and we thought we were going to die, but it was really cool. We got to see this play entitled Zombie with Bill Connington. It was written by Joyce, Caroll, Oats, and basically, I would say, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was very influential of the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, no?
Oh, absolutely. The character that Joyce Caroll Oates based the character of Zombie on was Jeffrey Dahmer. So it's very much inspired there.
Absolutely, man. And we're going to get to that. And we got, they actually did a short film that I was lucky enough to see that actually premiered. I don't know if it premiered, but it was at the Macabre Fair Film Festival. And while I was working there, I actually got a chance to see it. And it's really disturbing, but really good. So we're going to play that trailer a little bit later. Going down, what else we got tonight? We got Chuckys Insult Emporium. That's right. We're going to check out a video, guys. We got sent to us from YouTuber CLK Kent. That's right. Clark Kent in the hiding. And it's actually the guy who did the voice for Chucky at Universal Studios Hollywood Horror Nights in 1999. So we're going to be checking out a little bit of that, having some good laughs. We got our Oddworld fact check tonight. We're going to be talking about the Titanic and some cell phones. That ain't weird enough. And we're also going to be talking about the Holidayz in Hell maze. That's right. Halloween Horror Nights last year did a maze completely based on all different holidays. They had a Thanksgiving and Easter. It was really cool. Even at St. Patrick's Day. It was really cool. So we're going to check that out. And we're also going to check out the infamous Universal Monster Maze that was in 2018 at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios. The video we have that, though it was at Orlando and Hollywood, we're going to check out the Hollywood version tonight. What else are we going to talk about? Brendan, what movie are we going to talk about tonight? What movie?
Paranormal Activity.
That's right. We're going to talk about this awesome film, guys. We're going to talk about some facts about it and just overall how great this film is. We're going to see if we can pull up the trailer too later. Now, also moving from that, we want to thank our video suppliers tonight. So, of course, you can check them out on YouTube at Theme Park HD, as well as, like we said, Clark Kent, CLK, KENT. And if you guys log on to his channel, he's also got actually more videos of his work at Universal Studios, as well as some other Chucky videos. They're very funny. He's been there for a few years, pulling those laughs out. And let's talk about something really big starting off the show here. Something that I know I'm excited about. I think Brendan's going to be excited about. It's two separate titles in the same sentence that we never thought would happen. But we got YouTube and Phantom of the Opera. So this is pretty crazy, guys. Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't know if everybody knows, there is a channel on YouTube right now that is The Show Must Go On, and he has been putting up. I think we had Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. We had Jesus Christ Superstar, and everybody's been waiting for what the next one is, and they've announced that it's Phantom of the Opera. And I think everybody's really excited because you really don't get to see much of Phantom. They've always kept it a big mystery. Not a lot of media press of the show. There's really no full videos on YouTube to watch. So this is a big treat for us because other than that, you have, I think it was the 25th anniversary concert. I always forget which one it was, but they had the one where they were at Royal Albert Hall. And they had Antonio Banderas was there, and all the fandom. It was Michael Crawford was there, you know. So it was quite phenomenal, and that is on Friday. This Friday, guys, April 17th. Anything you want to add over there about that Phantom business?
Related to Phantom, there's Phantom of the Opera, which everybody knows, and then there's also Phantom which is a completely separate musical.
Yes, yes.
By...
I was completely confused when I saw that one time.
Yeah, it's written by Maury Yestin and Arthur Kopit. They're the same team that did Titanic the musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I actually was in a production of Phantom 2 Octobers ago at the CM Performing Arts Center, and it's crazy. Like the script is almost the same. They changed, some of the characters around, but I think that Phantom stays more true to the book than Phantom of the Opera. But Phantom of the Opera is the popular one that took off.
What would you list as your top 2 favorite differences between the shows?
The top 2 differences, I think that like the ending of Phantom to me is a bit more powerful. He's more forgiving.
Okay.
You feel bad for him in the end, and not in like you're forced to feel bad. Like you actually feel that he's trying to redeem himself, that he's not really as creepy as people make him out to be.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, that's one. What's our second?
Second one, I think is in Phantom of the Opera, the love triangle dynamic is very different than in Phantom.
Really?
Yeah.
What is the difference of it compared? I still have not seen this Phantom, and I'm so curious about how it's turned out so far.
In Phantom, they have the Count de Chandon, Philippe, and in Phantom of the Opera, I believe it's his brother that ends up falling in love with Christine Daae, and it's weird how, the little liberties they took here and there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. That's very interesting, man. And I want to give a shout out really quick because we do have Lou was reminding us that Al Calianis is watching. And something I do want to having Lou and Al on is always really cool. Lou and Al they are world-renowned circus performers. They specialize in the clown business. And they've actually performed with Big Apple Circus, Zippo Circus, London. They've been all over. They just got back to I believe it was Circus Sarasota they were coming back from just about a few weeks ago, about a month or two ago, and they're awesome people. So glad to have you guys with us. And also really quick, while we're on Phantom, we have the fabulous Miss Riella Viana with us, and Riella said that Phantom of the Opera was my first musical obsession. Honestly, love the movie adaptation as well. All right, so I want to go here really quick. Brendan, Broadway or movie, what do you think? Are they both good? Is one better than the other? What's your feelings?
Broadway, having the live experience definitely enhances it. Sometimes you have a movie that has like an incredible cast, but it misses the mark.
Right. I think for me, I did like the movie because I love the show. I've seen the show 27 times, which is ridiculous. Thank God for Tickets Under the Stairs. But the one thing that I just didn't like about the movie was in the end, spoiler alert, they showed the Phantom breaking the mirror and walking through to escape from the rioters and from the theater people. And in the play, spoiler alert, he simply sits in the chair, covers himself with the black cloth, and disappears. And it was just such a magic moment on stage because you didn't know what the true ending was. It was left up to you. Right. So I think for me, I think the movie was great though, because we did get to see things like a very different color scheme for Masquerade. That was very different. And also the tunnels, the whole underground scenes, all of that. We got to see a lot more. Now I have to say they did keep it true though, because when you see the show, for me, I actually liked the fact that in the show, and I don't remember how it was in the movie, but after Christine betrays him, the gold angel is hanging above the stage, and the Phantom is in the angel the whole time, and you don't know. And he comes out, and then he sings his "That's All I Asked of You" with the "So It'll Be War Upon You Both." I think it's the end of Act 1, and in the movie, they were just on the roof, and he was just standing on the roof hiding, and it just kind of lost that that magic, you know, for me. But I do think the movie is something to be celebrated because it got it out also to a lot of people who don't go to Broadway. You know, that is something that, you know, it's that pro con of we're getting musicals made. Are they always true to what the original source material is? Not always, but they're bringing a more diverse audience. They're expanding the musical world, you know, so to speak, to the masses.
I mean, in terms of an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical movie, it's definitely a lot better than Cats.
Yeah, yeah, we're not talking about the hairy butthole. Yeah, the Cats musical. I still have yet to see. I've seen snippets of it, and I'm nervous. I feel like I need to be on LSD to actually watch it.
I like feel like if I am watching that, I need to like accidentally trip on shrooms or something.
That's that could be very true, man. It's gonna be very interesting. Now let's take a look here. I want to bring up so we've got logged up here. I got the trailer for the zombie film.
Nice.
So I'm gonna let it play, and then everybody can watch it, and then I'll bring us back, and we can talk about all the stuff about when we saw this show in the tiny theater row theater with some folding chairs and like 2 lights. So here we go.
My name is Quentin P. This is my new apartment on the first floor of my grandmother's old house, where she doesn't live anymore, and I am caretaker. I am turning over a new leaf, starting fresh. Starting over, because I am an admitted sex offender.
What? All right. So, yeah, where do we start? So, the film, by the way, Brendan, was very disturbing. I don't know if you guys can see it. But it's floating out there. I think it's on YouTube actually. But for anybody that actually gets to watch it, there's all the simulated scenes that were simulated in the theatrical show were actually done in the movie, and it was very disturbing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and Brendan knows from what we saw. I think he took his wallet, man. That was the best. So, all right, so let's start. Let's start with some facts here, guys. Zombie itself was a play based on the novella by New York Times bestselling author Joyce Caroll Oats. It was starring a one-man show that is Bill Connington. The show performance was at Theater Row, and the year was 2009. It opened up in March. Me and Brendan were lucky enough to score tickets to see this show. Unlucky enough, lucky enough. And it was one hell of a roller coaster, right? It was one hell of a roller coaster. So let's talk about when we first got there. So for anybody that hasn't been to Theater Row, it's, what is it, 4 theaters? I think it's 4 theaters.
Yeah, there's either 4 or 5, and there's different floors.
Yeah,
and some are smaller than others, and I think we were in the smallest one.
We were in the small, so we're going up the stairs and up the stairs and up the stairs with the elevator. And we're like, oh, all right. And we notice that the lobbies are getting smaller, and we get to the top floor, and it's like a broom closet hallway, and we're like, all right, what's going on? So they open the doors, we go inside. And it's literally maybe 20 folding chairs, a completely concrete room, concrete floor, nothing in it, painted pitch black with 2 little lights on the floor facing the stage. There's a table with a chessboard, a dummy that's like this, and that really was it. Maybe a pot in the corner, and it was very simple. And we both looked at each other. We were waiting for more people to come, and nobody came. It was just us. So the 2 of us, they closed the door, and now we're in this room. It's pitch dark, except for the little light. And we hear this ominous, like it was like a violin overture, very, very quiet, very, very subtle. And Bill Connington comes on as the character that you just saw in the movie, almost identical with the glasses and everything. What unfolded was the biggest shock of our life. I mean, how do you feel? I loved it, probably for my own sick and twisted reasons. How did you feel when you saw what it was?
You know, like when we were walking in, I wasn't expecting a lot because it felt like we were in a closet. Like
yes.
We were in the front row. There were like a couple next to us, and then maybe a couple like psych students who were there because there was a Q&A afterwards.
Yes, that's right. We went on that night.
And they were definitely there more to ask questions than they were to watch the play. So like it was like we were definitely the only ones there for the entertainment purpose. What happened was like crazy because as soon as you started talking, you were like sucked into the story. Like you're like, oh crap, what is happening here? And the way it was crafted, he acts everything out with this dummy, like whenever it has to be like another person. But sometimes during flashbacks, he'll like talk about somebody he ran into on the street, and you in the audience might end up being that person on the street. So there's this one part where he looks directly at me, sitting right next to Rob, directly at me, and he's like, and then I went up to this guy and I was like, where's your fucking wallet? And so there I am, literally taking my wallet.
I remember that.
Handing him my wallet. I'm like, just take the money. Just take the money. I don't want to die.
Oh, it was great, man. It was, you know, and that's, I think what it was that, you know, sometimes when you see a one-man show, it can make it or break it. You know, you really have to have somebody who's committed. And let me tell you something, Bill Connington can just look right through you. You are not there. It didn't matter how full or how little that audience was. His performance. So he goes through the stages of we meet him after he's been registered as a registered sex offender, and we see his descent into madness of stealing, kidnapping people and putting a hot ice pick through their eyes, like Jeffrey Dahmer, and trying to make a sex slave, pretty much a love dummy. And in the end, he ends up getting caught, and the play ends with him zippering up an orange jumpsuit, and he's in jail like Jeffrey Dahmer. It was quite the performance. It got very intense. There's one point where he's raping the dummy. And it was intense, but man, he was dedicated as can be. And I'll tell you, I was so happy we did take the chance. I think you convinced me to go because you had heard about it.
Yeah, I think it was because my birthday was coming up. I think that's why we went. And
that's right.
Because I hadn't really, even though I've been doing theater all my life, I never saw a show on Broadway at that point. And so Rob was like, hey, let's go see a show. Let's see what's playing off Broadway. I was well, there's this.
Which is crazy. How have you never seen a show up until then? You, Mr. Music Man.
Literally, my first time seeing a Broadway musical was School of Rock, and that was not too long ago. That was like 2000.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that wasn't too long before Beetlejuice opened because Brightman transferred over.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, we're talking about them with just because I just realized that Will Blum, who is Alex Brightman's understudy, was also his understudy for not Rock of Ages, School of Rock.
School of Rock, yeah.
Which is so funny, like what a tag team, so to speak, you know. But yeah, we happened to be there, and then they did a Q&A afterwards, and I believe if I'm not wrong, Joyce Caroll Oats was there that night.
Yes, she was.
Right, because I remember we were like, you know, they had talked about it. I mean, and again, you're talking about this is a New York Times best-selling author. I mean, she's all over the place.
Right.
She's right now she's on masterclass. She's teaching masterclasses right now. So it's like this is somebody that's really, really up there, and to be in the same room and the presence of somebody like that who took on writing this. Her stories were really incredible because a few people were asking her about the research and how she got it. And she was talking about how she did interview, if I was correct, some inmates that she was talking to and psychological evaluation of these people. And the show is awesome. We left there going like, but it was so good. Anything to add to that, to the show?
Well, related to the show, recently this fall, I did a workshop production called In Pieces, which was
Oh, yeah.
It was a play meets an escape room meets a murder mystery all thrown into one.
Yes.
And part of the show was that one of the actors was a serial killer, and the audience would have to guess at the end who the killer was. Now, I won't divulge into it, but all of us did our research into what a serial killer thinks like, so that way, if it happened to be us that particular night, we would know what to convey emotionally, or lack thereof. And so I reached out to Bill Connington, and I had asked him, who did he talk to when he was doing zombie, for character research? Did he speak to profilers, and who did Joyce Caroll Oats get her sources from? And he actually put me in contact with Joyce Caroll Oats, and the two of them were emailing me these FBI profilers that they worked with.
Wow.
And all kinds of stuff like that I got to do a deep dive and really delve into the psyche of an undetectable serial killer. And I think that enhanced the performance, because the four of us collectively were doing this deep dive work. So by the end, the audience is like, I think it's all of them. I don't know.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't know that you got to speak to them on that personal level. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a treat, dude. Thank you for sharing that, man. That's what I love about having guests on here is I can talk as much as I can talk, but it's just me. Getting to hear other stories from other people is all what this show is about. We love having new guests. We love having people that bring new information and everything. And it's just hearing things like that. That's so awesome that you got to actually work with the people who originally, were something in that we saw, oh my God, 11, 12 years ago. That's so
crazy.
Cool. That's awesome, man. So yeah, guys, Zombie is out there. You can find it on YouTube. Like I said, it's starring Bill Connington. Just type in Zombie and his name, and it is an incredible ride. It surely is. So we're gonna move on. And also, I do want to just take a moment to talk about In Pieces, because I got to see this awesome play in the middle of haunt season. This guy got me out one night to see this show. I got to go to a test show, actually. I think it was.
Yeah, it was either our final dress or the night before the final dress.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. This show, so there were 4 people in total in the show, and I believe, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
It always seemed like more because everybody plays multiple characters. And guys, this show was so amazing. It was so well written. And the cast was phenomenal. The cast plays multiple 2-3 characters throughout the show. And by the end, it was so cool because like Brady was saying, it was escape room where you got to figure it out. And oh, did I fail? Oh, did I fail? I couldn't figure it out. It was awesome. And let me tell you something. What was really cool for me was they did all the endings because they wanted to practice it, and seeing how each ending was different with its own variations, but still true to the story, was just an incredible, just testament to how talented everybody was in that show. And that was, where were we there? That was Think Big
Theater Arts in Patchogue. Yep.
Yeah, man. If you guys get to check them out, it's an awesome place to be. So, and again, we know everybody's looking for things to do. We're all locked inside. So any chance you get to look at something new, check them out. They're on Facebook. They're all over the place. It's definitely something to give a good look at. Now, moving on from that, we got anything else for that? You're good.
I will say one part of In Pieces with the escape room, part of it was you had to guess not only who the killer was, but you had to guess a password. Now, throughout the show, different clues are given to the audience, and there's a code to scramble the letters of these clues to figure out what the actual password is. Yeah. But we didn't realize if you didn't use the code, it actually spelt something out. And so when we had Rob there, it was our first time having an audience member actually guessing a password and guessing who the killer is. And he just blurts out "Mad Cow," and we're like, where did you even get that from? And then we look behind us at the clues and we're like, oh, it does spell out "Mad Cow."
Spells out "Mad Cow."
Yep.
That was awesome, man. It was awesome, but I was truly thankful for being able to see that show, man. I want to say thank you again to you and for Think Big Arts. Think Big Arts.
Yep.
Think Big Arts for having me down. It was really cool, and hopefully we'll see more from them. Now moving on, we're going to be moving on to something very fun. We're going to stop the chitter chatter and give you guys a really cool treat. So what we're going to be moving on is to our Chuckys Insult Emporium. So what anybody doesn't know, usually every year they have this little section quarantined off. And actually the year we went, 2018, me and Wally went for our honeymoon, and it was really cool. They actually had Chucky's like toy box, and they had all these different, they had a barrel of monkeys they were drowning somebody in. They had all these different, but one of the coolest thing was they actually had oh my God, what do you call somebody who's missing a limb?
An amputee?
Thank you. They had an amputee who was missing her right arm playing a disfigured ballerina. And it was really cool because she was balancing and it just looked off. It was just wrong. It was just wrong, but it was really cool. But every year, so they have something themed out with Chucky usually. And the Chucky's Insult Emporium was where people could sit and walk around. It was usually up on a balcony. Sometimes they've done a little show box, and it's an actor behind the scenes, and it's just a comedy routine. And I'll tell you guys, some of the stuff that this guy comes out with is just funny shit. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna bring you guys a little bit of Chucky's Insult Emporium, and we'll be right back. Me and Mr. Noble.
All right. Yeah! Woo! All right, fantastic. Look at you people. Look at you. You suck! Woo! And she does really well. Man, how you people doing? Yeah, fantastic. You see the Undertaker? He sucks? He kicked your butt. Freaky bastard. Don't tell him you said that. Man. All right. What'd you say? Oh, you shut up pretty quickly, didn't there? Chucky. What? Nothing. Yeah. I was better in the first movie? Hey, at least I got a movie to complain about, buddy. What do you do, sweep or mop? Oh, man. What else we got here? We got some beautiful babies here. Hey, look at that. How are you? Oh. You know you want me. You, the one sitting down. How are you, baby? You okay? That's not your boyfriend, is it? That ugly bastard? Oh, don't kiss him. Now I'm not going to be able to touch those lips. Disease-ridden boy. That's fantastic. What about Tiffany? She's in the back recouping, if you know what I mean. Yeah. You lucky bastard. The only reason she's with you is because she's too lazy to commit suicide, buddy. Yeah, she's hiding her hands in her head in her hands now. Oh, no. Yeah, you know it's right, baby. Yeah, you better hold on to her tight because you know the instant you let go, she's off to get a little piece of the chuck. Oh. What'd you say, lady? Suck you beautiful. I don't think anyone can suck you beautiful. It would take a lot of liposuction to do that. But thanks for the joke. You got anything else, baby? Or did that sufficiently shut you up? What'd you say again? Okay, yeah, that's right. No, it wasn't me. It was him. Oh, no, I love you. Well, then what did he say?
I said he wants some water.
Do I want some water?
Yeah.
Why? I don't need to be cleaned. I wasn't with your mom last night. Let's see.
Hey, Chucky!
What?
Why you damn psycho?
Why? This is what I hear. Hey, Chucky! Yeah. What about this cycle? And you're in the front, dude! What did you say?
Yeah.
I need a haircut. Hey, this isn't my fault. Your mom was too rough last night. She was like, oh, Chucky, you're so good.
Your mom was better when I made you.
My mom was better when you made me? Hey, man, I would have been your father, except the monkey beat me up the stairs. Come on. Gotta get off the good ones because I'm sure we're coming up with a lot of bad ones. All right, let's see what else we got.
Right, Chucky.
Dude, I just said that like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, dude. So this guy's been cranking it for a long time. And I'll tell you, man, I've watched this routine. There's multiple years that he's on from there. But that one particular video has me dying every freaking time. It's freaking great. You know, what'd you think?
Oh, I was just saying in our separate chat that I think Chucky meets Deadpool would be an hysterical concept to watch.
Yes, man. Yeah. So yeah, it's freaking. Let me tell you something, dude. The first time I saw that, I was fucking dying. That'd be interesting. A little Chucky Deadpool crossover. That'd be very interesting, man.
Fun banter.
Right? Yes, it would. And speaking of banter, we're going to go to our discussion today. So this is the Odd World Fact Check. All things odd or abnormal that happened on this day throughout history. And we will have sound effects next time for this segment. Number one, we talked about last night that the Titanic hit an iceberg. I believe it was about 11 o'clock. Well, today, number one fact, Titanic sinks at 2:27 a.m. with a loss of 1,635 passengers. Somebody wasn't watching very clearly. There goes the iceberg and the door. 2 people could fit, but we're not getting in that argument. Let's see here. Oh, Lou, hold on. I'm going to go really quick. Lou wrote about the Chucky. I like that the keeping score tags. Yeah, he's got a good thing. And Riella, this was part of Halloween Horror Nights. So yes, you pay to get in. They transform the park at night with multiple haunted houses, but this is part of their surroundings. They have all different shows that you can go see. And it's really crazy. We actually, when me and Wally went, they had the Academy of Villains dance show, which was actually out of control. It was in the Fear Factor Stadium where Bill and Ted used to be, and it was incredible. And also, second quick fact, jumping back to Oddworld, is today the first telephone was installed in Boston Somerville in Massachusetts on this date in history. So there we go. That's it. So now this is going to be a fun one. We're going to go to the Holidayz in Hell video. This was from Halloween Horror Nights 2019 last year over at Universal Studios Hollywood. And we're gonna leave the audio out on this one because I love doing critiques sometimes. So me and Brendan are gonna watch this one with you guys, and we're gonna laugh a little because there's some shit in here that's definitely very interesting. So let's pull it up. I'm gonna cut the audio. We'll leave it on a little bit, and here we go. Hold on 1 second. There we go. All right, we'll leave it like that. You can hear me clear?
I can hear you.
All right. So here we go. We're waiting in line. This is interesting. I'm liking a Happy New Year. If you look at the skull up top and the clock, pretty cool. Very interesting. Right by Mel's Diner over there, you can see. All right, here we go. So what's our first? Okay, we're New Year's. New Year's. Is that a person? Yes, it is. I kind of like this. What do we? Oh, nursery. If there's a fat man in a diaper, I'm gonna freak. I see babies. Oh, what do we got? Oh, we got the nurse. I'll take that. The nurse was good. Oh, there was somebody on the right side of the room. Setting his suit. Oh, where are we now, Brendan?
Tunnel of Love.
Tunnel of Love. Looks very lovely. Let's see. What do we get with the Tunnel of Love? There got to be some kind of like demon or killer swan or devil. Oh, we got devil. We got devil.
There we go.
There we go. All right. We're still in love. That's kind of cool. I like that. Oh, it's a body double. I like that. I like the hearts on the walls. Oh, that was nice. We got cut up. I like those hearts. I thought that said nut up. My mistake.
Now we're on to St. Patrick's Day.
St.
Oh,
Patrick's Day. What do we
please
got?
be a bunch of little people.
Oh no, I see. We got the classic leprechaun, and then we got black wolves. All right, where we got? Where we going? Oh, we're still in St. Patrick's Day. All right, we're in the classic times now. We're in the Celtic days. All right. Oh, that's kind of cool. We got like a little like witch's shack, I guess. And something that's supposed to be there. Oh, Easter, man. We are going for Easter. Oh, look at eggs. I like the eggs. I heard a chicken. Oh, that's kind of cool. The bunny. I like those bodies look like they're from Ghost Ride. I like that.
4th of July.
4th of July. Better have somebody with like something like an arm blown off or something. So Uncle Sam. Yes! He's just like, what happened, man? What happened? This is pretty cool. All right, we got Halloween. I'm gonna take Halloween, right? We're nearing the end, so this is kind of cool. Oh, he was real. Oh, he was real.
Ah, there we go.
I like the shadow suits. That's a whole bunch of Gordy mess there. Thanksgiving. That didn't look right when I first walked in. Well, Thanksgiving. What's going on here? I'm confused. Oh, we got the turkey man.
I was going to say, I hope it's the turkey eating people.
It is. Oh, and we got Christmas. There better be evil Mrs. Claus or Mr. Claus. What's going on in here? I don't know. Oh, we got Devil Claus. That's a new one. Very cool. Oh, and then that's their little walk up where you got the roamers up there. Oh, yeah, guys. There you go. Theme Park HD, man. Check them out, guys. They got tons of different videos over there. All right. So what was your opinion on what we just saw?
You know, it's funny. The show that would have been playing at my theater right now would have been Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn, which goes through all of those holidays.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I'm like, oh, it's the haunted house version.
That's pretty funny.
One of the things I like about watching these is like, you know, they have a huge budget, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, the amount of stuff from there that could be replicated on the budget that like a Long Island haunt gets, and more effectively.
Well, you know what's interesting was from the times that I've been down there, I tend to find that some of their haunted houses are ridiculously detailed, and some of their haunted houses you can tell. I guess that's kind of where the quicker built ones were. And case in point was like when we went to you've seen the movie Trick or Treat?
Yes.
When we went to the Trick or Treat haunted house when we were there, they actually recreated the school bus jumping off the cliff scene. And when you actually walked into the scene, it was actually like a 20 by 40 foot scene, mud everywhere, and it was actually acrylic, so you couldn't get wet, but it looked like you did as you were walking. And they actually had a 24-foot bus stuck straight up in the mud. It was nuts. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, there are some things that are as detailed and crazy, and there are some ones that you're definitely kind of like, I see what you did there. You know, so it's definitely a little interesting. And let's see here. And then see, like Lou wrote here. See, now this is interesting. Lou wrote lots of people coming out of curtains, which I thought was a waste. Now, I know why Lou says that, because when we do our shows, we try to mix it up. We have gross out scares where you walk in a room, the person's there, guts, intestines, whatever, and it's just a visual. You have thematic scares where we have a specific skit that's going on in a room, and then you have your jump out scares. We have a nice combination of all of them. And for this particular haunted house at Universal, I do gotta say I was a little disappointed because it was all just jump out scares. There was, and like I said, even with the leprechaun one, it looked like we were missing a scare. There was a balcony there. Right. And nobody was there. So that's kind of interesting. But good point, Lou. What do you think about that, Brendan? What's your take on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought there were a lot of the same similar scare in each room. It's like, oh, pop out of a curtain. We just saw this before. It's just a different holiday.
I know. It was a little interesting there.
There wasn't as many animatronics as I thought there would be.
Yeah, no, they tend to Universal Studios doesn't tend to have a lot of animatronics. I've actually always been very surprised by that. They usually have one or two big ones. Like last season, the big thing was Stranger Things. And they actually built a life-size mind flayer from the mall.
Nice.
And it had a moving head, and it was ridiculous. So there is always usually one or two big ones. American Werewolf in London, they did have 3 or 4 werewolves that were animatronics, but in all the videos you find, usually 1 or 2 of them are broken. So I don't know if maybe they've strayed away from it over the times, but that seems to be the general gist of it. Now, speaking of that, we have speaking of werewolves, there's nothing wrong with werewolves. We're gonna go to our next video, which is the Universal Horror Nights Universal Monsters Maze. I had to make sure I said that right, as that was a whole lot going on there. So we're gonna jump, and again, this guys is from Theme Park HD. This is Universal Studios Hollywood in California, and this is a Universal Monsters Maze. So me and Brendan are gonna jump out, and we'll be right back. Enjoy this little maze for you guys.
From the gallows anywhere. You have created a monster and will destroy you. There's death is sacred, and I will protect it. There are far worse things awaiting man.
This pure heart like day, he sings his prayers at night. May you come forth where danger looms. His blight.
Indeed, really, a few chemicals get together. Feast your eyes. Cleanse your souls of my accursed ugliness. Feast your eyes. What music they make. Children of the night. What music they make. Children of the
All right, so there we are. That was Universal Monsters Maze at Universal Hollywood. Very interesting maze. Not one of my favorites, I actually have to say. I think there was a lot in there that could have been done a little bit better. As Lou wrote, actually, lots of walking, nothing happening.
Yeah.
I would agree. And there was also a lot of really amazing sets. But I feel like I could have sworn, and I'm gonna do a no that I normally don't do, but I'm gonna go back here, because if I was correct in those beautiful laboratory moments, and here we are, we're gonna bring it up here. When you're looking, that is a cardboard box in the back, if I'm not correct. And I don't know that I'm feeling that that's universal quality right there. But hey, to each his own, you know, whatever. They do a great job. You know, but what did you think about that one?
You know, it reminds me of the whole dark universe that they tried to set up, where it could have been a lot more than it was.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to talk about the mummy. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. And then, you know, actually, Al just brought up, Al's watching with Lou here, and Al brought up a great point. It might as well have been a waxwork museum. Yeah, very much agree with that. There really wasn't much going on, Al. You know, that's a really good observational point. They try. But the other thing, too, that I also noticed was, and this isn't usual, that haunted house was very mask driven.
Right.
You know, a lot of times they have these incredible makeups, and I felt like this really lacked in that department. I felt like I saw a lot of like there was almost like an Igor type character in the Mummy. And it looked like it was wearing a very cheap Party City mask. It wasn't really too pleasing. I do want to go back, by the way, to our last haunted house, which was the Holidayz in Hell one, because Riella is watching with us, and she brought up a great point about how it seems that they blew all their money on Valentine's Day. And I would agree, because a lot of these scenes, these are not cheap scenes to make. A lot of this has a lot of detail, especially the hearts and everything on the top. And then Lou, we had from Lou here, was that her favorite part was the legless guy. And I do have to say that guy got me he was a good laugh. And we actually got him right here. This guy was very funny. And she said doing his Ace Ventura impersonation. So it's good stuff there, you know. But yeah, you know, it's been a lot of fun reviewing these haunts. We always love that. We love having everybody on here as well. And you know, coming up now, we're gonna get to actually a special part. One thing I do want to do really quick, guys, if you are watching, we always like to give a shout out to all of our YouTube providers, our video providers. And again, tonight we had some from youtube.com/themeparkhd and also our Chucky videos, which were from Clark Kent, CLK Kent. And again, guys, make sure you check him out. He's really cool. Like I said, he's got more videos on there of his work from Universal Studios. Now, before we do move on to our movie for the night, I want to talk about something really special. B-Nose, let's talk a little bit about what's going on over at Creative Ministries. What do we got going on over there, my friend?
Well, you know, like everywhere else, we're shut down, especially entertainment venues. If you were under 500 maximum occupancy, they divided it in half. Then from there, it became 25%, and that now it's just any events of 5 or more aren't allowed to happen. My brother's being annoying. Yes, I'm live. That's my brother. Sorry.
We always say it's interactive. It's live shows.
I'm talking about. So in the meantime, while we're closed down, we still have bills to pay, and that's adding up. So we have an emergency GoFundMe campaign. Our goal is $50,000. That's how much we're losing by not being able to perform our shows every weekend. But in the meantime, we are providing free virtual entertainment. So like tomorrow night at 7:30 on our Facebook and our YouTube, we have CM Spotlight, which is a virtual speaker series where our host interviews people who were from our organization and have gone on to work professionally in the theater world and beyond.
That's really cool.
On stage and off. This week, he'll be chatting with Patrick Grossman, who's our artistic director at the theater, along with some cast members from Holiday Inn, which would have been running right now. Next Thursday, he'll be interviewing Sonny Palladino, who's a Broadway conductor, musical director, and orchestrator. He recently worked on getting the band back together, which was a total fun show. He's worked on a whole bunch of stuff. I can't even think of what he's working on right now, but he's been around. And then the Thursday, the 30th, he'll be interviewing Jane Monheit, who she's an incredible jazz musician. She's performed with Michael Bublé all over the country, all over the world. So that's really cool. And we provide like things like that for free for people to have entertainment in their own homes. So we try to collect some money along the way through our GoFundMe campaign. On Friday nights at 8 o'clock, we have CM Live, which is a virtual cabaret series. Last week we premiered it. The theme was on the radio, so they were all songs you hear on the radio. This week is going to be Broadway Miscast, and it's hosted by U.S. Comics John Rivera. John Rivera has performed all across Long Island, but him, his brother Charlie, and a few others from the Long Island theater world have their own comic book company called U.S. Comics.
Oh,
so
awesome.
He'll be hosting, which is pretty cool. I'm excited for that.
Very cool, man. And where can people go to donate to the cause? Where can we help out?
The most direct way, if you go to cmpac.com/donate and click on the link that'll show up, that'll take you to our GoFundMe page, and you can donate there. It's on our regular website. It's all over our Facebook, Instagram, you name it. It's out there.
Awesome, man. No, that's really cool. I'm really glad we got that information, guys. And definitely, you know, always remember, donate to the arts, guys, because as everybody's seen, it's become more essential in our lives. So if you get a chance, please visit cmpac.com/donate, chip in. We got those stimulus checks. Make them count. Donate them. No, and truthfully, on that note, I have actually seen a lot of people. Actually, one particular person that works for my haunted house, Alex Brinkworth. Alex put up the other day that they got their stimulus check and they were donating it to multiple businesses and places that could use it. So go, Alex. That's awesome.
Nice.
All right, so now we're gonna go to it because it's that time, and I know Brendan's been waiting for it because we're going for Paranormal Activity. That's right. So guys, Paranormal Activity, Premiered in 2009. It's 11 years old. I feel like it was yesterday when this phenomena hit the world.
So crazy.
And it's directed by Oren Peli, who went on. He was actually the producer for all the Paranormal Activity films, as well as Insidious, Lords of Salem, The Chernobyl Diaries. He was also a writer on a few of those as well. The movie was filmed in 1 week. 1 week! On a budget of $15,000 and grossed more than $193 million. Brendan, why did you pick this film? I know you have a connection here.
Yeah. So way back in 2008, or yeah, it had to have been 2008 since it came out in 2009. I had gotten an email from a friend who was working on Paranormal Activity. It had such a small crew involved with it, but the way that they wanted to market this film was as an indie film, a found footage type horror movie, without people really knowing that it had a full studio backing. So they only had an X amount of budget because on paper they had to show it that way. So. Right. In order for it to get to play in movie theaters across the country, they had to start sort of like a grassroots marketing campaign where the people involved in the film were reaching out to people and be like, hey, can you donate $5? And for $5, you'll get your name in the credits. If you donate $25, we'll give you this. If you donate $100, we'll give you... So this was before like GoFundMe and Indiegogo and all of those types of... mass fundraising campaigns were around. Yeah. They were doing this way back then to get this movie into the movie theaters. So that's why if you have the DVD of Paranormal Activity, the first one, and you watch the credits, it's about like a good 3 minutes of like tiny letters of just names from everybody who donated to this campaign. And my name is in there.
Really?
Yep.
Dude, that's incredible. That's awesome to see, man. That I didn't know you had that connection to the film. That's really cool.
Yeah, and I just thought it was clever the way they strategized it that way. They're like, if we make this seem like it's not as big of a production behind it, and people watch it, they're going to be more impressed with it than if, they're like, oh, here's Steven Spielberg's next film.
Right.
That was it.
And I think that's really cool. A lot of people don't know that Steven Spielberg was involved in the making of this film.
Right.
Which is like absolutely just amazing. That's God of cinema knocking at your door. Which is really cool. And I mean, the film itself, to me too, it changed the game on the POV films because really up in the POV scene, you had Blair Witch Project, but that was really our POV scene. I mean, if you go back to that, really the first POV scenes, you go back to Evil Dead, zooming through the woods and things like that.
Right.
Those scenes were revolutionary in the cinematic world. And for me, this is just one of those films that I could watch over and over and over and over and over because it's just that good. It absolutely is. Anything else you want to say before we watch the trailer? Because the trailer is really cool.
I forget which Paranormal Activity it was, but you and I had gone to like the premiere of one of them, like after a rehearsal or something.
I want to say
might have been the third one.
Yeah, it was the one where there was like a cult, right?
Yeah,
because she opened the door and there were all these people, and my first reaction, because I don't do the whole ghost thing, and I saw that and I was like, motherfucker! I was like, no, I wasn't feeling it. It was creepy as fuck. I think it was the third one though. It was like the marked ones or something. There's so many of them now, I lose track. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Paranormal Activity. We're gonna bring up the trailer now. We hope you enjoy this as much as we do, and take it away.
High def camera on. My girlfriend Katie, she thinks there's something in the house. I don't know.
You believe me, right?
I think we're gonna have a very interesting time capturing whatever paranormal phenomena is occurring or is not occurring. Windows are locked, doors are locked, the alarm is on. Hearing a weird sound.
Something's here. I feel it breathing on me.
There's footsteps in, but there's no footsteps out.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
If you do try to play games with it, that's inviting it in.
Jeez, looks like something bit you.
It's not the house. It's me.
You cannot run from this. It will follow you.
I'm in control.
You're not in control. What's happening to me?
This thing left a message.
If it's not a ghost, what is it?
And that was it, guys. That was Paranormal Activity. That's right. And again, you could see how, you know, like Brendan was saying, their marketing was just spot on ridiculous. That trailer was enough to hype up even the most non-believer. I do have to give a funny shout out here because all right, so we got Riella who said that gave me goosies. We got some goosebumps going on, but also the first one was good. And then they kept going. Yeah, and they did get a little silly.
That's also why I thought the first one was done so smartly, with the fact that everybody went into it with the mentality that this was a low budget film, and so you didn't have this expectation of it being so fantastic. So that way you were like, wow, and it was more of it was less of just a movie than it was an experience. It was about watching it, seeing the people react next to you too. It reminds me of being in the audience of The Experiment.
Oh God, The Experiment! No. Yeah, The Experiment was quite the show. I think it's funny. I've been working with Schmitz Farms a little bit the past few weeks, believe it or not, and with Scott and Joey, and they're all getting ready and everything, and we're getting ready, and we've just been chatting back and forth about plans and stuff. And it's funny because we were just talking about the memories of that, and I said how I still have all the old footage. So maybe we'll come on here, you do a commentary on all the old footage that we still have, of everybody screaming and running all over the place, and mops that smelled like piss and shit and craziness, squirting people with water in the eye. It was a good time. But yeah, guys, so that's our show. Now, we always like to do this at the end of the show. We got everybody watching. Guys, if you got any questions, are there any topics that you want to see on future shows, or any topics you want to talk about right now? I know we got everything going on with the pandemic that's going on. We got entertainers and all that. We got all this stuff. And Lou actually had written also, by the way, that this goes back to the days of the gimmick movies. So, you talk about the William Castle effects, Emergovision, the Tingler. For anybody that doesn't know, House on a Haunted Hill, they used to do it, and they used to ship skeletons on a wire to movie theaters, and at the point where the skeleton would come out of the acid bath, the skeleton would go across the top of the movie theater on a line. It was actually really cool gimmick. And me and Al were actually just talking about the Tingler the other day, how they used to put buzzers underneath the seats. Some really cool things that actually inspired a lot of what I do. I know a lot of what Aiden P. Finnegan, he is the William Castle aficionado over there, so he's doing good. Like I said, we'll give it a few more seconds, see if anybody types anything in here. While we do that, I do want to say, remember, guys, if you like the show, if you had a good time, invite your friends to our Facebook page. It's Hell's Honchos. And also remember, if you want to get those updates, click follow. You can also watch us on YouTube. We're on YouTube, baby. We're on YouTube. You can click subscribe, that big old red button, on Hell's Honchos as well. And also, let's give a quick shout out as well to our video suppliers for tonight, guys. That's right. So just to recap, we had Theme Park HD as well as CLK Kent, who gave us some stuff clicking on tonight. And don't forget, guys, it's Wednesday. If you forgot, it's Wednesday. I know everybody's all a little crazy about this, but just so you guys know, we want to remind everybody that Friday is that the show must go on YouTube channel. Phantom of the Opera, guys. You're not gonna want to miss this. I heard Sierra Bodges is in it. And
guess
it's
so.
supposed to be Sierra Bodges, and I believe it was Ramen Kalu. I can never say his name correctly.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that's an all-star cast. So that's going to be really cool to see, guys. So make sure you check that out. And other than that, let's see. Hold on, we have a comment here. I said doo-doo. I did say doo-doo. With that being said, Brendan, you got anything else you want to add, my friend?
I know this has been great. You know, it's nice to actually like talk and not just to myself in my room or these creepy dolls behind me.
Right, right. That is awesome. And actually, you know what? There is one other thing that I do want to share with everybody. Let me just pull it up here so everybody can see this. Hold on one moment. So really quick, guys, just so you know, I work with a phenomenal group of entertainers, producers, directors, fellow actors. I'm always involved in different things. And one thing I do want to give a shout out, if there's anybody watching, guys, you know, anybody that's got kids, you know, anybody that's got anything going on, make sure that you check out Circus Ronaldo, guys. If you go on their Facebook page, you want to check out Circus Ronaldo, Little Lou and the Remarkable Ronaldo. Also their website, circusronaldoNYC.com. They have a live workshop that's coming online Friday, 1 p.m. It's free for the kids. That's right. You bring a plastic bag, 3 plastic bags, and you can participate. They're all interactive, guys. They are one of the world's first digital circuses. So make sure you give them some love over there. They need some love. So definitely check that out. And that's about where we're at for this time. So Brendan, I want to thank you very much for coming on tonight. I had a blast. I hope you had a blast.
Absolutely.
Really good. And I want to talk about really quick what's going on, you know, because we're talking about paranormal activity, we talk about the supernatural. What the fuck is behind you? Because they've been staring at me the entire show. No, it's great. I understand that's like a real doll collection. That's a legit.
Yeah, my mom collects dolls, so they're all over in this room I'm in right now. Like literally all over, and not only this room but also in our dining room. Like
in the dining room too.
You're eating dinner and they're staring at you watching.
Well, I have to say it is pretty cool, though. I'm not gonna lie. And just a quick reminder, guys, that this is the same gentleman you're speaking to. Awesome man of many talents. Vinobes, I'll check in with you later. I'm gonna say goodnight to you and say goodnight to our folks and thank them for listening. So thank you very much for being on, brother.
Thanks for having me.
You got it, man. All right, folks. So like you've seen, this is Hell's Honchos. We're really excited to be bringing this to you. Again, this was a product that was born in necessity to keep the crazy folks insane. We know you're up late. This gives you something a little creepy to watch. And welcome to the ride. So make sure, again, Facebook, Hell's Honchos, YouTube as well, Hell's Honchos, guys. Make sure to check it out. We're going to have lots more stuff coming on with you guys. And we got a ton of that. And that's about it, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed the show. This is episode 3. We're on episode 3 already. We'll be back next week with some new episodes. Please share the love. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. And once again, this is Hell's Honchos.